PC Killer here, and welcome back. Now, recently I uploaded on my channel a very angry, we'll call it a vlog. It's not really a vlog, but it's a really angry post about the 2016 candidates nominees and what I thought about them. There was a lot of F-bombs and whatever, but I don't really want to leave it at that. My channel is built around family audience, so I want to reiterate it in a longer version, but I want to call this one is either Wake Up America or What I Think is Wrong with America, or I don't know, I'll think of some catchy title. But this is basically going to be a random post of randomly talking about things that can actually, in my opinion, improve the whole country, the whole shindig. So I think that I do owe the audience that don't like the swearing and the angriness that I usually don't portray on my channel. I think I do owe them an apology, and I do apologize for that. That is not really what I want to be portrayed as. I would like to be portrayed as the person that is entertaining. Now, the fact that attracts people is kind of sad, though, because it is... and I got this from a gentleman that I work with. It is immature to do and just really talk like that in general in a public place. But it is what it is, and I did it. And like I said, I'm not sorry that I posted it, but I am sorry that I didn't give an alternative for people that have more sensitive ears to hear me vent. And that's what this is about. I'm going to do that in this post. But basically, what I was trying to get across in that post is the 2016 candidates for the Republican side are all very good people, and I'm sure they're really nice, and or maybe not. I don't know. I've never actually met one of them. But the way they're being portrayed through the media and on Twitter and all the social media crap. I mean, I know it all. The media likes to poke the bear and get stuff out of there that's not really, maybe appropriate for them, and the side of them that they usually don't show because they're mellow, for better or worse. So what I feel is they need to take a step back and stop insulting each other for 10 minutes. Long enough to realize that maybe they should really more or less alliterate for what the American people want. I mean, the people are going after certain people for a certain reason. I mean, people are liking Trump because he's non-political, and they think that if they get a non-political person in there, they're gonna fix everything. But that may or may not be the point, or the whole thing. It may or may not happen. But I'm not gonna try to drag down any one person, because I'm gonna drag down the Democratic Party like no other, because their side this term is really off-putting, we'll say. And I usually vote third party because the third party person has the right idea. But this year I'm going to focus on the Republicans. The Republicans have the idea, they have the know-how, they have the push, the go-to, and the oomph, okay, we'll say, that's needed to help fix what's going on in America. So we have a lot on our plates right now, and we have to remember that what we deal with now will be pushed onto our children. So we do need to be very careful what we put into office. So with that saying, let me start trashing the Democratic Party. And I know right now there's going to be people in the comments below, and I'm completely free with anybody posting pretty much anything in my comments on this post. I mean, just try to keep it clean, whatever. But I would love to hear what people have to say on the aspects. I mean, that's why I want to do this. I want to hear what people that watch my channel think about this. I mean, some of them are younger, so they may not understand. But let's get into this. Let's start trashing why I think the Democratic Party is not going to be key for this term. Maybe later on down the line, but not with this term or these people. So the first things I wanted to alliterate on is we'll go into we'll go into Hillary first because Bernie's going to be a whole lot longer. Hillary right now, as it stands, is not even sure if she'll be able to run for president because she still has to go into front of a judge to determine if she committed treason or not. I mean, this lady calls people to die, and that's, whatever. Okay, it's bad, but that's not what the treason part is when she puts stuff on her personal server that was able to be accessed so easily by anybody in the United States, let alone the people and outside of the United States that don't want us to even exist. For example, ISIS doesn't want us to exist. They want us to die. Israel is not too fond of us. Or no. What is it? Yeah, it's Israel that's not too fond of us, I believe. And the whole Middle East, to be honest, is really not too fond with us after the whole Bin Laden thing. So they're not too happy with us. And we set out information. And she set aside information that was sensitive data for them to just have this information, instead of, like, if you was smart, when you go in to a job like that, you shut that server down. You don't need a personal email that bad. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, text you. Screw it. I mean, that's what I would do. Like, I have a server just for gaming, but guess what? I would take that server and give it to somebody else. Be like, look, this is what I need. I need you to change the password on this until I get done with this job. I am not allowed in this server. I can't send anything to the server. Just shut the server down, transfer all my game files over to another server, and you take care of it until I'm done with this job. So that's really what should have been done. I mean, yeah, I get that, the Clintons need a personal everything, but I mean, come on. First of all, if it was just an email server, Google does a pretty good job. Come on, Gmail's free. I mean, I get that you can have your own hillaryclinton.net.com//comnet.gov email, which is fine. But when you start sending personal stuff that can compromise, if it even compromises one American life, it's really not worth it now, is it? I mean, that could have been, those people could have been your father, or, even worse, it could have been your son, but whatever. It happened, and unfortunately it did happen. But the point is, the information should not have been put on a personal server of hers, and that's why she's getting in a lot of trouble right now. And then she was declined to release the emails because it violated her privacy, which is fine. I get why she didn't want to do it, but if she wouldn't have let those emails go there in the first place, then she wouldn't have had to worry about it. If she would have just put them in the right email box and then try to claim that you don't know technology, come on. Seriously? You're old, but you know what you're doing. So that's why she is kind of at a stake. Right now, she's still got to go in front of the judge that she can either pay off or not. We'll determine that later on in life. And she may not even be qualified to run for president. I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting to have a first woman president, but put somebody else in there. You could put Sarah Silverstone in there, and that would be a better president than this one. And then Hillary. At least she didn't try to kill a bunch of people and keep secret emails and sell them off, or whatever the hell she did with it. So, I mean, it's not going to be good. She may get past all this, but if she becomes president, it's not good. It's going to be no bueno. Bill did an okay job. We won't say an excellent job, but he did an okay job, and he avoided being impeached for getting head underneath the desk and other things. But that's just the funniest of them. So let's move on to Bernie. Bernie Sanders. People like him because they think he wants to give away free stuff. And in reality, the way that they think it's going to happen is not going to happen. It's not just going to be free. It may be free to them, but it's not going to be free. Somebody is always going to pay my father has taught me one thing in my life, and no matter how free it is, it's not free. Something went into it. It's always cost. It either cost you gas, time, effort, money. It's not free. So with that in mind, my father is right. even with the Bernie Sanders aspect of it. And that's why people want Bernie in, because they think they're going to get free things. They think they're going to free healthcare, free schooling, free this, free that, and you can't do that. If people start getting free things, they stop working. Halfway through the semester, they decide, oh, I'm done with school. Screw this. It's not my cup of tea. And they drop out because they didn't pay for it. For example, I paid $40,000 to go to college. And when I had to drop out, I fought tooth and nail to stay in college. And I was literally driving an hour and a half with no job, trying to get my college done, cram as much as I can at one time, just so I didn't have to drop out. And because I didn't drop out, or I dropped out because of no funds, I'm still paying on that school, waiting to go back to finish my degree, because I feel that that's a waste of $40,000 just to get a 3/4 of a networking degree, and I only need to take 3 classes, and I'm working my butt off right now to either, advance my save up enough money that I can go and find a job that will allow me to do that, or I can find a position in my job that would allow me to do that. I mean, I'm working my butt off for that because I had to pay for it. Me and my family had to pay for it, and every day that I have to pay for it, and my father and my mother have to pay for it, it makes me feel bad that I did not get that degree. So that right there is enough for most people to be like, oh, well, this is a lot of money. I'm gonna just finish college because, it'll be worth it in the end. But if you don't have to pay for it, what are you actually going to go for? You're going to get more money, but then you start getting all that free aspect in there, and, well, I don't pay for this. I'm just going to start slacking off now because, I got other things to do. And, I'm not saying everybody's going to do it. And I know there's people already in the comments, well, empathy, I got free college, and I graduated, and now I make money. Congratulations. You were one of the few lucky people that was able to get free education and use it. For example, my fiance got most of her college for free, but she used it. She went her schools, and now she's a great respiratory therapist, and she saves people's lives, and that's awesome. She got her college. We only had to pay a couple grand for her college, but she still stuck it out, even though, she didn't have to pay nothing. She could have easily just been like, oh, well, I'm going to go stay working here for the rest of my life. I'm making good money anyway. But she stuck it out and got her degree. And it took longer than what it was supposed to, but she stuck it out because she, that's the type of person she is. And there is all kinds of people out like that out there in the world, and that's fine. But there is also people that want stuff for free just to have it. They'll go through college and they'll start it and then they'll stop it, and then they'll go to another college, start it and stop it just because they can. And that looks bad on the college. It takes down their reputation because these people are going in and stopping. Colleges are measured by a dropout rate, and that's what happens. People drop out, less people want to go to school because there's, apparently something's not doing right in this school. And freaking people dropping out. So that's what I'm getting at, is when you start getting stuff for free, you don't want to work for it. So you're getting college for free, might as well get food for free and your car for free. I mean, Obama's already giving out phones for free. We already have welfare, and people are abusing that. And things like that are what people think are free. And it's not really free. It's free to them, yes, but it's not free to everybody else. People that work, they have to pay for that with their taxes, and it's getting to the point right now that people are starting to want more and more free stuff, which is pushing our whole society towards the Bernie Sanders ideology of being socialism. We are really close to socialism, and then right after socialism comes communism. So think about this. If everything is given to you for free, what are you going to work for? Nothing. Okay, if you want something, you just go out and get it and pick it up. But that's just you. So the guy that made that, what makes him want to go out and work and make that for you? Now you're making your own things. So basically, we're back to the ideology that my father has. Yeah, everything is free and it costs you no currency. But is it really free if you have to go out and make your own car? You want to drive around, you have to make your own car. Okay, so you build your car. Great, now you have a car, but now you got to go refine your own gas because no one is going to want to work to make gas for free. That's why we have a currency-based system. That's why every nation in the world, and clear back to prehistoric, has had some kind of currency. Because free does not work. Nobody wants to work if everything is given to them. I mean, the middle class is really good for this. They think about this a lot. Because they'll run across that rich kid that has everything and that doesn't want to do anything. And again, I'm not saying all rich kids are like this. I mean, Trump worked hard for his money, yes. But not everybody's going to be like that. So, with that in mind, who's going to work for anything? You can't have socialism, because if you have a socialist, nobody wants to do anything. Right now, we are pushing towards that because people don't want to work. They'd rather be on welfare, sit on their home on their butt, eating, horrible food, not taking care of their kids. And we'll go to this because I have to cover this is how sad this is. I have to cover every basis and say that, it's not everybody, it's a select people. So we're going to say right now, it's not everybody, it's select people. So I can stop saying that and wasting your time. There's people that want to sit there on welfare and then not take care of their kids because they don't want to work. That's fine. Whatever. But why should I pay for them to live for free? So that's why Bernie Sanders is not going to work out, because his socialist idea is not, with socialism, it's not going to work because people don't want to work for it. Then when people don't want to work for it, the government's going to have to step in again because we're relying on them. And then if we rely on them, they're going to have to be like, well, guess what? You need to go work and do something so we can have this. Because if you don't, we're going to go back to the freaking sticks and stones, and our buildings are going to decay, our roads are going to go away. And it may not happen in 1 year, and it may not happen in 100 years. It's time will tell. Everything will fail with the socialist approach to it. Because eventually socialism will lead to communism, where the government tells you how to do everything, and you do it, no questions asked, period. It's like having a supervisor for life. You leave work, you got a supervisor at work, and then you leave, you got a supervisor for the government. No bueno. So that's no longer free, because now then they can be like, well, you can believe in Christianity, or you can not have food. Or you can do this, or you can not have that. And then that's how it starts. So that's not going to work. And which leads me into my next aspect of why we're pushing towards the socialism, which I've kind of a little explained. People are lazy as crap in 2016. And they need to realize that they're only pushing it onto their kids. They wonder why their kids are not, learning things and, doing the right thing, and they're fat and, whatever. It's because their parents are showing them how to do that. If you don't take care of your kids, they're going to do that. But right now, we need to get down to bottom line here is the fact that right now, people want the government to rely on the government. And with that, if somebody comes in, Russia, China, ISIS, the Americans could have a civil war on themselves. If somebody bad rose up in America right now, we'd be fine. But if the things keep pushing towards the way they're going, people are going to rely on the government for everything. And who's going to fight for it? Because the government can't fight. It's an establishment of people. They're not soldiers. They're just people. That's why we train a military. So if it gets too bad, someone could just walk in, and because we can't defend ourselves because we're relying on the government, they'll take our land, and then we'll be speaking whatever they want, or they'll just kill us all off, and they'll take it. ISIS isn't going to come in here and, not kill everybody. It is what it is. And the ideology behind it is, seriously, people, wake up. So let's go ahead, and because I've talked about the Democratic side enough that, I hope you're getting the idea that, maybe the Democratic side may not be great this term. Maybe I'm not saying like maybe never be a Democratic side ever again, but the Democratic side tends to be the side that wants the people to rely on them. They want to do everything for the people, which is, it's not going to work. And I know the comments are probably exploding right now, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, I don't care about what you say in the comments, because I will be more than happy to reply in the best way I can. So, like, take this. We got the Republican Party and Democratic Party, fine. So let's talk about the Republican side. Right now, the Republican side are just arguing with each other, which is kind of pushing off even the Republicans, which is why the Democratic people are like, we're going to win this because the Republican people can't get their heads out of their butt. But if they would get their for lack of better terms, if they would get their head out of their butt, they are actually, the four we have right now in one aspect or another are great. Trump, Rubio, Kasich, and Cruz, and no particular order, by the way, just whatever came to my head. So you got each one. You got Trump's, give no craps attitude and get crap done type of aspect attitude. But how efficient is he? He's never had any kind of political background. He doesn't he may or may not understand what it's going to take, because he can't just say something as a president. You have to go through the other two branches. So you got to go through the other two branches of the government to get things done. He's got to convince these two over here that his idea is, good idea. And where he may be able to negotiate that, he may not be. But he thinks that he can negotiate with the world, and the world's not going to listen to him because he's an American. And yeah, that sounds bad and prejudiced, but it is true. I mean, people don't like America. We are what everybody wants. But we're slowly fading away from that. So with no political background and the edginess trigger finger that he has, he may want to defend our rights, but so does Cruz and Rubio and Kasich. So you see where I'm getting here, right? Trump's got good ideas, but maybe no political to back it up. Whereas some of them may have political to back it up, but no good ideas. So you take the next one down the line, we'll go with Cruz, and he's not maybe as passionate sounding because he's not that kind of person. And, but he's not really, what's his record? Can he get things done? What's his ideas? I mean, he's not focused. I mean, none of them are all focusing on really what's the issue. We need taxes problem. We got spending problems. We got ISIS problems. We got United States massive problems, and whatnot. So, and then Rubio's, he's got the, let's get things done attitude, but he's got no backing for it because he likes to forgive things and do not. So you see what I'm getting at is, in Kasich, he's got the attitude of that would be great for maybe a vice president, because he's like, why should we do things for you that you need to be doing yourself? Which is why I kind of, push towards him, but his backing is not very good. So, none of them have that real strong backing except for maybe one or two. So what makes us think that the one that we're trying to get in now, where he's got the most money, he's got the most push for it, maybe he would be better as a vice president and not the president, advising the the actual president of what they need to be doing. That's what their job is. You advise them, and then everybody advises that person, and he's got the political power to do what's needed. So why don't we settle for something, maybe one person in and then somebody else in? Because I think, in my personal opinion, but Rubio, maybe not so much, but Kasich and Trump would make very, 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 very good vice presidents, which it's not the position they're looking for, which is understandable, but both of them, their opinion is strong, and they know what needs to be done, but they don't have the political background or the political power to do it. But the other two maybe have the political power, but which one of them is going to be going through it? And like I said, I'm not trying to push you towards a vote. That's not one of my job. Your job is to figure this out on your own. That's why you're an American. If you're a United States citizen, in my opinion, I think you should vote. Period. End of story. You live here. You pay taxes here. You're a United States citizen. You were born here. Do the right thing and vote. Because if you don't, it's going to end up bad, and we're going to get somebody else in here that's, stupid. So, but that is my opinion on what needs to be done. Because even not having kids, I want to prepare the future for them. So I don't want to go backwards in time, because he who does not learn time is doomed to repeat it. Okay? That is a statement by somebody that I don't remember who, but it is a true statement. If we don't understand history, we do repeat it. I mean, it shows in our clothing and stuff like that. It all repeats. I mean, come on. Bell bottoms just went back through again, and we called them straight legs. Seriously? That was an 80s thing, and it came back in 2000s. It happens. And history has shown people who don't pay attention to history will keep repeating itself, digging itself into the same loop over and over and over again. And luckily, the United States has the ability to write down history, and we're doing pretty good with it, and we don't doom to repeat it. We haven't had another civil war, but, I mean, we're getting on a freaking verge of one because people are getting edgy. And, it is what it is. Sometimes new things is not the best. I mean, not saying that never again should we have a black president, but maybe this black president was not the right one. Maybe we should have done somebody else, waited a couple years and then see who else runs. And then same with the female. We got Palin, and she wanted to run, but everybody pushes her off the side because they think she's a nut job. But what if she is one of those people that, appears to be a whack job, but actually turns out to be, wow, she's got it down. But, I mean, like I said, not trying to push your vote. That is not my job. That is not my intent. But I do want to make you sit here and think for 10 seconds, at least. Just give me 10 seconds of thought time. And think, what do you want to put our kids' future into? Right now, we're pushing towards a downfall and recession and depression, and all that stuff follows with that. We don't want that. We want to try to avoid ourselves for that. So stop thinking that free is the right way, because it's not. We need to, as Americans, stand up for what is basically right. It's not even basically right. It is right. So you need to stand up and do your job. You need to get up, go to work, earn a living, and not wish for free stuff. But you need to take care of your kids and make sure we take care of our environment and all this stuff that, as Americans, we need to be doing without the government's assistance. We don't need food stamps. There's plenty of jobs out there. You just have to be willing to work them. Just because it's not something that you like to do, you know what? Get a job, suck it up like I had to for years, and get to something that you like. That's why it's a right to work. We don't need unemployment because, or no, not unemployment. We don't need welfare because people are abusing it, and it's costing us a lot of money, and it really is. And whereas that is one part of the aspect of where the government needs to control the spending, there is a ton of extra aspects that need to be, controlled spending wise. They was given a budget for a reason, and they should not go over it. If they cannot go over it, maybe they should not take so much money. Maybe they should not get paid so much. I mean, it's not really attacking the rich, because it would be the same thing like if you own your own small business, which is basically what the United States is its own business. And right now, the small businesses can't even thrive because they have too much taxes. And the states that are eliminating those taxes, those businesses are coming there. So just remember that where you want more money, everybody can have it. Some people need to just live a mediocre life and be good with that. Be happy. I mean, money is not the best thing in the world. I mean, yeah, you can get whatever you want, but maybe whatever you want is not what you need. You need food and water. I mean, we could always go back to the primitive times and make our own shelter and hunt our own food, because, That's how we started, but that we evolved into what we are now because we don't want to do that anymore. We pay people to do things like that. And you know what? The people enjoy doing that. So that's how this whole balance and check system works with that aspect. The American people need to get off their butts and stop being lazy and go to work and do the job and take care of their kids and do actively get up and do things to better the future for our kids, because if we don't, we might as well just nuke ourselves, because we're going to anyway. We have a lot of people right now that don't like the Americans, and with us the way we are, we're starting to get vulnerable, and that's why they think they can pick on us. There was a time that nobody would mess with the United States, and we can get back to that time, and it's not because of our government, it's because of our people, because our people are strong. The American people are like one of the strongest nations that you can get, because of our religious beliefs and our right to have freedom. Freedom is not free because you have to fight for it. So just think about that when you're doing things and you're sitting there stuffing your face on welfare. If you have the ability to get your butt up and work, why not contribute to the United States and contribute and help and do things, and maybe get your kids. You sit there and complain that you can't afford anything, but you just don't want to get out and do it. Maybe it's just I don't understand why anybody would want to live that way. And again, this is like a random tangent. I've got the government part done. Now we're focusing on the American people as maybe a whole, but not everybody. So, like, I don't understand why people want to go out and just sit on their butts. Like, I always said that if I were to win, like, the lottery, for example, if I were to win the lottery, people are like, oh, I'll just buy it on this and I'd buy it on that. I don't see me buying I see me splurging and getting my computer and buying a house. But after I buy a house, car, and a computer, what else am I going to spend it on? I don't need an amusement park. So, like, what am I going to do with that? And people don't understand it. When you've got so much money, you don't know what to do with it. So, like, if I ever won, I feel that I would give most of my money away because I don't need it. My friends and family would be freaking richer than I would because I've lived the way I've lived for so long. I don't need to be rich. I am actually 150% content making a little bit above minimum wage job. I'm not going to say I don't have a minimum wage job. I've got a decent job. And I don't make anything on YouTube. I do most of that just for a hobby. So that leaves that out. But I don't understand why anybody would want to just sit there and watch TV and stuff their face with Cheetos and whatever, and not take care of their kids and just waste away. There's so much that you could be doing if you would just get out and work for it. So maybe I would leave it with that. I do really, really hope that if you stuck around this long in this, that you at least see my point and would be graceful enough to leave a comment, politely down in the comment section, because I would like to keep this as an open discussion as possible and keep this going and, whatever, because I'm to the point that I'm more interested in hearing what other people think. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I don't understand. Like I said, I don't understand a lot of things about it. The government part, I understand that part pretty good. But the aspect from that on of why people would want to do what they're doing, why are we getting lazy as we are, is that maybe that's the part I don't understand. And that's actually the part that scares me the most, is that people are starting to get lazier and lazier about stupid things that need to be, not be lazy about. Seriously, why can't we take care of our, area and our kids and our lives, and we let ourselves go downhill and we get huge, we can't do nothing, or we smoke and we die early, and we don't defend ourselves and we rely on the government to do things. I don't understand why you would want to rely on something so unstable as a government figure. So I guess with that, I'm just going to have to end it, and leave your comments and concerns down in the area below. And as always, guys, again, I apologize for the rage post, we'll call, and we'll go from there. But as always, guys, please leave a comment down below. And if you feel that you at least agree with something that I have said in here, go ahead and smack that like button for me, because it actually will help out in the end, and it helps get this post out to other people. So, as always, guys, take it easy.